She was like, I looked over your chart, which is like a mile long, but I reviewed everything on your chart, and this is what I think we should do. What's up, tribe, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, my name is Mariah, and my husband and I are on our journey to conceive baby number 2, rainbow baby number 2. If you haven't caught up on my journey thus far, you can just pretty much get all caught up with this playlist. I am going to start driving just because I have to go. I pretty much just stayed at my sister's house last night because she is watching Rain for me. They're gonna hang out today. I also got to hang out with my nephews yesterday because one of them had off from school and the other one's in college, so he got out from school. But I am just on my way to the REI clinic at Walter Reed because that was what was recommended to me by the OB that I saw, that I actually kind of like her thus far. But I was just like, you know what, let's just go at this with, 2 tracks versus just one. Going at it with 1 track was getting very frustrating for me, just dealing with doctors that I felt like did not necessarily, not even doctors, I shouldn't say that, I should say medical staff. They didn't feel the weight of it because it's not their personal situation and it's not within their normal realm. So I decided, let me just go back while I'm still in the system at Walter Reed before, I am considered a new patient, before they kick me out of their patient population. Why don't I just go back and talk to I don't know if it's really the initial team, but at least go back to the same practice because it is very much a group practice setting. So it's not like I'll be going to see someone specific. I don't even know today if I'm going to see a doctor or one of the nurses. Either way, I can get hopefully the same thing from both of them, because this appointment actually needed to be rescheduled because I wasn't able to make my initial appointment, which is why I told y'all that this update was going to be in earlier February, and it wasn't because I have no appointment to update you guys on. But yeah, I'm going there, so I'm just going to take this nice old drive to think about any questions and any further requests I have. Also, I need to request my records for the MFM clinic that is closer to my home. It's about an hour closer to my home than Walter Reed is. In any event, it's closer to my house. I'm not really getting the vibe from them that I want, but I am going to want to have a backup MFM that is nearby my home. They're probably not going to take things at the level of REI because in their mind they're like, we're an MFM clinic and we have a REI clinic within our hospital system. However, the reason I'm not going to that REI clinic is because I have no medical coverage there. I do have a secondary insurance that is through the state of New York, through my husband's job, that does provide reproductive services, but it only provides it with the stipulation that you have an infertility diagnosis, which I do not have. But anyway, I want to drive safe and be mindful, so I'm going to check back in with you guys a little bit later. I don't know if I'll have time once I get in the hospital. I'll try to vlog in there if I can. They mostly have a no cameras type of personality, but I'll see what I can get. I'm gonna quickly bring you guys up to speed with what happened at the appointment. Once I was there, of course everyone there is super duper nice, but the appointment actually took all of maybe 15 minutes. I saw a resident this time. Me and her talk. She was like, I looked over your chart, which is like a mile long, but I reviewed everything on your chart, and this is what I think we should do. So what she said is, I want to start off with Clomid again since we did that the last time, but she said we're going to make some modifications. So we're going to do Clomid again, but I'm going to do 3 unmonitored cycles of Clomid before we switch any gears. What I didn't know at the time that she was telling me this, that they actually upped my dosage of Clomid. So before I was taking 50 milligrams of Clomid, now I'm going to be taking 100 milligrams of Clomid. So she's like, for the first 3 months, I want you to take from cycle days 3 to 7 the Clomid, which is now 100 milligrams of Clomid, which means it's 2 tablets. She's like, we're not going to do any monitoring for those first 3 cycles. We're just going to see how you do on that by yourself. She said we're not going to do the trigger. Instead, she wants me to go ahead and keep OPKing, take the OPKs, and basically the day I ovulate and the day after, obviously baby dance, those specific 2 days is the days that she pretty much wants to be focused, like us to be focused on. She didn't say like don't the days leading up to it, but she's like those are the two, you know, most important days. And then she wants me 3 days after I ovulate to start on the progesterone. I know a lot of you ask about this. I've shown it before, but it'll be 100 milligrams twice a day. Altogether, it's a total of 30 days worth. Well, I'm sorry, it's not 30 days worth. It's 15 days worth because I'm taking it twice a day, which explains why she gave me the amount she did. That makes a lot more sense. And then take a pregnancy test 14 days after your positive OPK. If you don't get a positive, wait 2 to 3 more days and then take another one. If it's not positive by 16 to 17 days past ovulation, stop taking the progesterone because obviously progesterone will prevent your new cycle from starting. It'll cease menstruation. So it's not like I'm doing something like extremely different from last time, but there are some, you know, major changes, being no trigger, no monitoring whatsoever, and then starting on the progesterone significantly earlier. She's like, I don't think you really need to wait around for, you know, your positive test to start on it. So we want to just go ahead and try that first for 3 months. If that does not work, she basically said, what we will do is we will try maybe switching medications, or we will try reincorporating the trigger. So we'll either stick with Clomid and do the trigger and do cycle monitoring again, or we will switch medications to something like letrozole. So there's like multiple directions all of this can go in depending on the outcome in 3 months. As far as any testing goes, I did ask if I could just go ahead and repeat getting my AMH check, which she was like, your AMH should not have changed much from when you got it done the last time. She said, but if you want to get it done again, like, no worries, we can also go ahead and do that again, because the bottom line is it's just information. And if something did come up to where something significantly changed, that would be another discussion. So I'm going to get my AMH check on cycle day 3 whenever like my new cycle starts. I'm in between cycles right now. So she's like, obviously this will not affect anything this cycle, but next cycle we can go ahead and start with this new game plan. She also told me that she didn't feel like any other panels were really necessary to repeat. So obviously I already had the HSG done. I have no interest in repeating that anyway. And then the recurrent pregnancy loss panels, we don't feel the need to repeat those either until we see you having basically like multiples again. If that was the case, we would go ahead and repeat all that testing to see if there would be like anything else that we can potentially narrow down and find. But she's like, the chances of that are pretty low considering we weren't able to find anything the last time, which I totally agree with her on. I don't think she was like off base at all. And I don't know, I just don't necessarily feel like repeating certain things is going to get me a different result. But I already had my thyroid check a few months ago with the OB that is closer to me. So everything, as far as I know, still looks pretty normal. So that's part of the reason why too, like I agree with her about not like repeating this whole rap sheet of tests, because there's only but so much they're going to repeat or could repeat anyway. Like your chromosomes don't change. In terms of genetics, me and my husband are compatible. Neither one of us has any genetic markers that were like red flags or anything like that, and nothing that the combination of our DNA would result in chromosomal abnormalities. So all of these routes have already been explored and to some extent exhausted. So the whole like repeating testing, totally on the same page. I don't think we need to repeat everything. I think there's just certain specific things here and there that we can just keep an eye on. So pretty much at this point, like if I am not pregnant this cycle, basically I will on cycle day 3, I will go first to go get my AMH retested, make sure they do my blood draw first. Then after that blood draw, I'll go ahead and start on the Clomid for cycle days 3 through 7. And then of course, ovulation will come, baby dance that day, baby dance the next day, and then 2 to 3 days later, I'll be starting on progesterone. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I was pretty satisfied with the outcome of my appointment. I feel like me and the doctors there are pretty much on the same page. I'm totally fine with kind of doing this in a medicated but like chill manner with not like running up there to do cycle monitoring for the first 3 months. I'm totally cool with that because it is more convenient for my schedule at the end of the day. And I also like that they are still very much in that flexible state of mind to where they're like, okay, if this doesn't work, we will just, you know, go to plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, we will, you know, go to plan C. If plan C doesn't work, we'll go to plan D. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll definitely be, you know, documenting everything. I am curious to see if Clomid is going to have a different effect on me this time, especially since my dosage is changing. And the same with the progesterone. Obviously, before I was only taking progesterone once I was already pregnant and my body was already producing some. So I think it'll definitely be a little bit different taking it earlier in the game. So in any event, I will keep you guys all posted about that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here and head back. I hope you all enjoyed this update. I'm glad that it was like nothing but like good news to report, and you know, the positive vibes are just, you know, overflowing at this point. But I am definitely sending all of you who are TTCing sprinkles of baby dust, lots and lots of luck, love, and prayers for your current cycles or upcoming cycles, whether you are going about it on your own, unmedicated, medicated, IVF, IUI. I hope that all of you get just as many babies as you want to have. For all of you who are currently pregnant, I am definitely still praying for you guys and hoping that you have the happiest, healthiest, and safest pregnancies and deliveries. And for pretty much everyone else, I still hope that you are having an amazing and wonderful week. So hopefully I will catch you in the next video. Bye.